Okay, so on this question, we have a logarithm, a single log with a bunch of stuff in it. X to the 8th, y to the 9th over z to the 20th. Okay, and they want us, they say, they want us to write it like this. So they want us to take one log, notice, with a whole bunch of stuff in the argument, and break it into three simple logs. One log, break into three simple logs. Well, how do we do that? Well, we've got some log properties right here. So here they are. These are the three log properties we always use. Notice this is one log here, and right, one log on this side, two logs on this side, one log on this side, two on this. Forget about the third one. That one's a little different. We'll look at that one in a minute. But just looking at properties 1 and 2, one log becomes 2, one log becomes 2. Basically, the deal is two logs make the operation easier. What do I mean easier? Well, I think of adding, subtracting as easy operations, right? Learn those when you're a kid. Multiplying, dividing harder. You were a little older when you learned those. So if you notice one log multiplication harder, right? Harder, or dividing, multiplying or dividing becomes easier adding or subtracting for two logs. And by the way, multiplying goes with adding because they both make things bigger, right? Dividing goes with subtraction because they both make things smaller, don't they? Makes sense, they're connected. So basically when you go to two logs or three, it gets easier, right? Like a job is easier for many people than for one person, right? You have something heavy to lift, it's easier if you have two people. Okay, so that's the idea with the log properties. So let's do that. So I'm gonna take this one log right here, and I'm gonna break it into, what do we have? We have multiplication up here, and then dividing right there. So that's gonna become log of x to the 8th plus log of y to the 9th, and then minus log of z to the 20th. You see why it's adding on the top? Here, let me try to focus on this. It's add, because multiplying right there, whoops, becomes adding, and then the dividing becomes subtraction, right? Anything divided is subtracted. That's why the z to the 20th is subtracted. And anything multiplied, like x to the 9th, y to the, x to the 8th, y to the 9th, those are going to be added. Those are logs added. Does that make sense? That's what the log properties are saying. Multiplication between two logs, multiplying within one log becomes adding between two, and dividing in one log becomes subtracting between two. It becomes an easier operation for two logs. So there we go. See, so when you go to more than one log, the operation gets easier. So, okay, now what? And then finally, now property 3, log property 3 right here, says powers. When you have a power on something in a log, it can just drop down to the front. That's just an operation within one log. Instead of one log becoming 2 or something like that, that's just on one log, the power can drop down to the front. Okay, so let's go do that. So now I'll take that power over here, this 8 power, and drop it down. 9 power, drop it down. 20 power, drop it down. So we're going to get 8 log x plus 9 log y minus 20 log z, right? See that minus sign that carried over right there? So, okay, so now what does that mean? They're asking us to identify A, B, and C. So A is 8, B is 9. Careful on C though, what is C? Notice C says plus, but this is what? Minus. So C is gonna be minus 20, isn't it? Plus a negative if you want, like that. So it's actually negative 20. And so there we go. We did what they wanted. We took one log and we broke it into 3 separate logs, added and subtracted. Basically, the numbers on the top, or I should say the letters on the top, are added because they were multiplied. Anything on the bottom is divided, so its item is subtracted. And so there we go.